Hello, Rosslyn families. Welcome to Snowshoeing 101. Why? Well, we know we can't go out to camp, but we're going to see if we can snowshoe here in town. We've got some plans. So, we're going to introduce you guys all to snowshoes. Hello, Rosslyn families. We're going to talk a little bit about safety when snowshoeing. Just because, you know what, we've been hearing things in the news about kids getting hurt tobogganing. We don't want our kids getting hurt when it comes to snowshoeing. So first off, please, we need you to supervise your children while they're snowshoeing. Don't turn them loose. Strange and weird things can happen. Snowshoeing, where to go snowshoeing? That's one of the questions people ask. This is Rosslyn Park. The snow, while we don't have a lot of it, is great. This is a great field to try out snowshoeing. You can try it here, you can try it at your local park. Parks are great. What we don't want you doing is going on the storm lakes. They are not safe. They have water running underneath them. The ice is thin and thick, it's unpredictable. Please stay off the storm lakes. Stay away from the river and creeks here at Edmonton. There are horror stories about kids going under the ice. So, stay safe. All right, a few other things. One of the things we see when we're out at camp is going through trees. Please give yourself space as you go through trees. You've all had this experience where someone in front of you moves a tree aside, a branch, and it comes whipping back. Well, we don't want that whipping back into anyone's eyes. So give yourself a little space if you're going on a trail. And lastly, if you're going to be snowshoeing in the dark, and that is an option, that is fun. Remember, headlamp, flashlights are not so good for that, just because if you tip over and fall, well, your flashlight may be way down in the snow. Other than that, we're going to have some fun. We hope you enjoy snowshoeing. Alrighty, so the question always is, what size snowshoes should I have? And typically, snowshoes are sized by your body weight. So these little gaffers, many of our smaller cubs and beavers will be using. And this side, again, some of our larger beavers and cubs will be using. That's fine, it's not section specific. It's about the weight. So, why is that weight important? Well, if I'm on the small side, I will float in this snowshoe. And I could use this one and I would still float. However, because it's a bigger snowshoe and I'm probably smaller because I'm lighter, I may have problems when I try to walk and it becomes really difficult to walk, and then it's no fun. In the olden days, when we would have used the teardrop-shaped traditional ones, I would have had a real hard time because I would actually have to walk like this. And unless my gait was that big, I would have difficulties. So it's about the weight. And we do have a large selection, so we will be asking you what size range you need. Please let us know, and we will see if we can get that size for you for our next event. All right, so now you know where you're going to snowshoe. Let's get ready and get dressed for snowshoeing. And we're going to start at the bottom and work our way up. These shoes are not good for snowshoeing. They are, however, really good for me driving here, so that's why I'm wearing them right now. I am going to be snowshoeing in big, heavy winter boots because it's going to keep my feet nice and warm. Ventures, Rovers, Chuck Taylors are right out. Just saying. And you know who you are. Alrighty. The next thing I want to talk about is socks. I've got the good, I've got the bad, and I've got the ugly. Let me show you what I mean. This is a good sock for snowshoeing. It is a wool sock, and it is a tall sock. And in fact, I'm wearing a pair identical to it, and it comes up to here on me. So why does that make it a good sock? Because it doesn't slip down in my boots and get all knotted up in my toes when I'm snowshoeing. Very uncomfortable. So this is a good sock, and it's wool. It will keep my feet warm even if my feet get sweaty. away here. This, well, I'm going to call it the bad sock. Why? Because it's cotton, and cotton is rotten, and you will, if your feet get wet, your feet will be cold. Okay? However, I do know that getting a pair of wool socks for your kids isn't always something you're going to do, especially when they're growing. So this is probably the next best thing, but again, it's going to be a taller sock. This is the bad. No, please do not snowshoe in these. In fact, don't send these to winter camp ever again, please, thank you. They end up in the toes of boots, and we end up with kids with bare feet. It doesn't turn out well. So, this is not a good sock. I'm going to put them aside now. Otherwise, they're going to blow away. So, I'm working up from my feet. I have got on, this might be too much information, I got on long johns. I'm not wearing blue jeans. Blue jeans don't let me move around, and actually blue jeans aren't really warm. I have snow pants on. My snow pants are dry. I'm wearing my winter coat, but what's underneath my winter coat? Again, I've got long johns on underneath, and I'm going to stay nice and warm. If it was a colder day, I would actually have another layer on, but it's not actually a bad day today, although it is starting to snow, I think. What else do I have? I have insulated gloves. I know I'm going to fall over. I need gloves. And of course, on my head, I'm going to have a hat of some sort. I might have a hood also. And in really cold weather, I'm going to have a scarf or something over my face. If I'm going to be really close to people, what else am I going to have? Oh, not that glove. I'm going to have a mask because it's COVID time. Alrighty, gang. We've got our gear. Now let's see how we start using these snowshoes. I'm going to talk a bit about our snowshoes because this is the type of snowshoe we've actually never used at the Rosslyn Group. So this is what's called the modern snowshoe as compared to the traditional snowshoe that we have out at camp made out of wood and rawhide. So what makes this different? Well, first of all, it is made out of aluminum and plastics and composites, and they're quite light. The binding is very different. So the binding is very much, it's very similar to what you would see on a snowboard. And then these are rather aggressive, and they have crampons on the bottom, meaning that we get some grip. And as we walk, I don't know if you can see, my foot will pivot, and I will get a grip. Okay? So with this type of snowshoe, people say, oh, it's much better than their traditional. Well, no, actually, they both have their uses in different circumstances. This is great for kids. This is great for maneuverability and when you need something light. But a traditional snowshoe is great in powder snow. When you have, that much powder, you will float really well in a traditional snowshoe. This one you'll actually sink down a bit more. Okay, so a little bit about the bindings, because that's the newest thing for us, and that's the unfamiliar territory for us. There is a left and a right snowshoe that comes in each of the bags. The snowshoes will come to you in a bag. Please return them in the bag. It is important that we have the left and the right snowshoe paired together. And my bag's going to blow away. That's funny. Okay. The buckle itself is going to go to the outside of your feet. So this one is my left snowshoe. I want the buckle on the outside. I don't want the two buckles between my legs because then they'll bang together. Okay, so this is going to be on the outside. It makes life so much easier. In some cases, these snowshoes are so brand new that you may not actually have the binding started. And all you do is you pass it through the back. Let's see if I can get this so my cameraman can see it. You just push it in, and then, oops, come on, bend. I might have to redo this. There we go. And then, I don't know if you can see it, as I lift this little handle, it grabs it and tightens it. To release it, I'm going to take off my gloves to do this. I'm just going to squeeze this, and look at that, it comes apart. So putting on this style of snowshoe is so much easier than the old ones. And I know that the beavers and cubs will remember using the old traditional snowshoes and how many times the bindings popped out because they weren't quite tight enough. So this is a big improvement. With the exception of these teeny tiny little ones, aren't they so cute? They're so adorable. This one has got a toe strap and it has a back strap, and they both ratchet. Okay. All sizes larger than the red ones have the 2 buckles and then a strap along the back that has got a quick release, and then you just tighten it and pull it tighter. All right, so let's see about putting on a snowshoe. I'm going to show you a trick. Oops. Do it after I get the sock. Alrighty, I'm going to show you a little trick. I'm going to put my boot in without my foot in. Okay, so which one do I have? Oh, this has got the buckle to the left, so that is for my left boot. I'm going to slide my boot in, and I'm going to get a good fit before I even put my foot in. That. I'm going to turn it so you guys can see this. All right, then I'm going to tighten it up. Click, 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 click. I can tighten it up more once my foot is in. I can give it a little tug. And I've got a good start on my snowshoes. Moms and dads, this may be a great way to get your little ones set up. Then you don't have to be fighting in the snow with kids. You can have them ready to go, pop them in, carry them out, and pop them in the snow, and away they go. As you can see, it was a really windy day on the day we chose to film, and it was howling at this point. So I'm going to see if I can overdub this. So I'm trying to tell folks the way that you walk. And in the old days when we had the big snowshoes, we would say walk like a Sasquatch. But now it's more of a shuffle. The snowshoes aren't as wide, so you can just walk nicely and easily in them. Watch your child. You don't want to be lifting your snowshoe way up. It's just a shuffle. And then off you go. And Scouter Amy tells me that this type of snowshoe is a lot easier on her hip flexors, especially if going long distances. Again, walking like a Sasquatch, maybe a little tough on us old folk. Okay, back to the regular narration. Let's see how that goes. Now, if we were out at camp, there might be a possibility that we come across a log that is in our way. So what do you do when you have to go over something? Okay, first I'm going to show you what you don't do. Do not do that. Alright? You always need to have the area under your foot supported. Okay? So if I'm going to try going over this, I'm not going to have my feet this way. I'm going to go sideways. And hopefully I won't kill myself as I do this. And away I go. and clear this pretend log that I have beside me. Simple as that. In the old days, if we were going up a hill, we would do the same thing and we would go up sideways. But because we have the crampons, we can go directly up a hill. Just be careful. These are meant for snow, not so much for the ice, which is why we're not demonstrating today on the hill here at the park. That, and I don't want to get taken out by a tobogganer as I demonstrate. So, remember, safety first. Okay, we hope you have fun. We hope you enjoy the snowshoes. Let's go have some fun. All right, so you've gone snowshoeing, you've had a great time. Now, what do you do? Once again, we need to care for our equipment. And you can see, oh, I got snow on the backs of these. So I cannot pack them up the way they are. So please knock the snow off. This is a really wet day. Please dry them off. I'm going to have to bring these inside because I don't want to put away anything wet. If I put away something wet, we'll have mold growing on these guys. And you know what? We want to be able to use these for the next bunch of years. Okay, I'm going to get these nice and dry before I pack them up. Once they're dry, and only when they're dry, I'm going to put them away. All right, so please take care of them for us so all of us can